Welcome. We are going to be implementing KBA 37375. How to configure a workflow to automatically clip documents after being stored. The KBA calls to create four variables. Two of them will be text, two of them will be numeric. The two text one will be a file cabinet ID that will take the GUI ID of the workflow, the GUI ID of the file cabinet that we are going to be working on. And then the remove file is a condition that the workflow will use, a value that the workflow will use to determine whether you want the document to be deleted after it was clipped. Then the second two variables are found document ID and stored document ID. So the stored document ID will be the document ID of the document triggering the workflow, and the found document is the document ID of a document that is already stored. In this case, we are going to be using two types of documents. One is a purchase order, one is an invoice. So a purchase order goes out to the company, Incredible Deals from my store. They receive it, they send it. In our end, we created the purchase order. We are going to store the purchase order first. We are storing the purchase order because we created it. We said that the document type is a purchase order loan. Purchase order. We said that the company that we are buying the merchandise is from Incredible Deals. We are using the zip code as their location. Then the document number. Where is the document number? Well, it's the PO number. That's the document number. We don't have a reference number because it's a PO number. We have the amount that they send. This is wrong. We could put. It's gonna fix it. Putting any date. We have the terms. We can leave that alone, and the status is wait. We could put wait. Or wait, let's put wait. Store. So now we have a purchase order, and we are waiting for the merchandise to be shipped to us, which will come with an invoice number or delivery slip. So the day comes, they send the invoice number. Now, what information we have in the invoice number? We have that this document type is an invoice. We have an invoice number, but we have a reference number, which is the purchase order. So we are going to store this into our file cabinet. Document type is an invoice. The company, again, is from Incredible Deals. The location is the same one. Document number, in this case, is the invoice number. The reference number we are referring to by the PO number, the amount. On the same day, in this case, from their point of view, they send it to us in this day. Okay, we're just gonna pick any day. You see the same thing. Times 60 days. The status, we're gonna leave it empty, just to trigger the workflow, because the conditions of the workflow is that when the document goes from status empty, and then we change it to something, that will trigger the workflow. So again, we are here. We have two documents inside. One is a purchase order, one is an invoice. As you can see, purchase order has a document ID of 1, invoice number has a document ID, document ID of 4 for invoice number, edit, document ID of 3 for the PO number. Okay, so now we need to trigger the workflow. If we go into the invoice number, which is the one that is going to trigger the workflow, we go from status and we put ready to click. We save it, and now you see that it was clicked. We have a purchase order and we have the invoice number. If we see the document history of the clicked document, nothing happens because the workflow didn't do anything but clipping in the back end. But if you see here, we have that it was clicked by me. Now, the document that triggered the action will have the workflow history. So once again, he uses the document ID. He finds that the document 3 is the one that we need to click to. He's not going to remove it, meaning that if he was successful, this document here, the invoice, was supposed to be taken out. If you put through, he's going to take it out. This is the reference number. He searched for the PO and he searched for the company. Those were the conditions that we use for the workflow. And this is the document ID. So in the workflow, what we did was the following. The KBA requested for us to create four global variables: file cabinet, remove file, found ID, and document ID. File cabinet ID, found document, remove file, and store document. I added two more variables to do the search, which is search for the company and search for the PO. From the KBA, we have a store document, which is document comes in, and whatever document ID is assigned to that document is stored into a store document. The search company is a field that I added because that invoice is going to come with a company name, and we need to grab that company name to search in the file cabinet for a matching company name with a matching PO number, which is a reference number, which is the search for PO, which is the reference number that the invoice has that information. So the invoice has the reference PO number, and that's the information that we are going to use for the search. So what you see here is SQL statement where it says, go into the file cabinet invoice and get me the document ID. The document ID is a system field. It's not assigned by you, it's assigned by Docuware. For each document, they get a unique document ID related to that particular file cabinet. So I'm telling the system, go into the file cabinet and look for a company that is already stored. There is a document inside that file cabinet that is already stored that has the value of the company that it says on the invoice, or this is the company such and such, and it has a PO number. There is a PO already stored. Search for the reference number, which is, look for the document number, which is the search PO. So that's why I created search PO and search for company. So the new document is going to give you these two values that you are going to use to search for in the file cabinet for them in those respective fields. So here is search for inside the file cabinet and get me the document ID. Get me document ID in the from this file cabinet. Donde, where, I'm sorry, I'll switch to Spanish. Where the company name will match the search company, which is the information that the new invoice is giving me, and look for a document number that matches the reference PO, which is an information that the invoice is giving me as a reference. After that, it's going to find the document ID and it's going to assign it, document ID, to found. Once again, remove, yes or no, is false, not to remove. And the file cabinet ID is just the information that we need. We selected a name for it. We put DocuWare Platform API. We selected the API, which is this one. Put file cabinet create / file cabinet ID, operation, processes, document action. Then we went to the request. We selected the root, which is the file cabinet ID. The query. We are working with a doc ID, and we are saying that the document ID that we are clipping is the file we are going to be clicked to is the one that says the file document ID. So click it to this document. Encoding. The header stays the same as the KBA, and this is the code. Pasting our body. Okay. And we saw the end results here. Thank you for watching.